For Lunar New Year, my dad's sharing one of his childhood favorites growing up in Toisan.
Toisan 鹹水角 Haam Gai Loong.
Deep-fried glutinous rice dumplings. He used to help my grandma make dozens of these crispy, chewy, succulent dumplings every time Lunar New Year rolled around. And today, we're grateful to share and preserve a very special piece of Toisanese culture. Let's dive into how to make the filling.
而家咧，我就先將啲蝦米洗咗佢，浸喺俾啲暖水浸佢先嗬。
First, we'll do a quick wash of the dried shrimp with some clean water, agitating it so any dust and dirt come off. Then, we'll drain the water.
啲水洗完之後，啲蝦米咧，你俾啲暖水浸一浸佢，佢就快脆好快脆咁浸腍咗㗎啦。
We'll add enough hot water to fully cover the dried shrimp.
做完你浸完呢啲咧，我就先開咗粉先，搓咗啲粉，搓好之後咧，擺一陣跟住再包，咁就比較係效果會好啲嘅。我今日咧就用10個安士嘅糯米粉。
My dad uses a digital scale here to get the exact amount of rice flour he wants.
呢度有10安士啦，兩樣咧就你單純係用細糯米粉咧，佢就會軟得滯，整出嚟就冇咁好食咯。呢個又唔可以用粘米粉做嘅，粘米粉做就好硬，所以一定係要搭粘米粉上去，就2安士嘅粘米粉上去，即係話5比1咁上下嘅份量嗬，到2安士。呢個係鹽嚟嘅，半個茶匙嘅鹽上去，等個皮有少少味嗬。 呢個粉嘅份量咧，我就用8個安士嘅滾水嚟開佢嗬。當開粉嘅時候咧，我哋攪勻佢，就慢慢倒啲滾水落去嗬，唔好一下倒晒，慢慢嚟。
We'll slowly pour in the hot water while mixing with chopsticks.
一下倒晒落去咧，佢就會一下結晒一嚿嚿，慢慢咁攪得㗎啦嚇。OK， 慢慢咁攪。嗱，有時咧嗰啲粉有啲乾嘅濕度嘅唔同嘅，咁你又有時多少啲嗰啲粉嘅水咧。 就有啲差別㗎啦，慢慢猜下佢唔夠咧，再俾嗬，俾咪晒佢，呢度8安士。
In case you didn't know, glutinous rice flour is made from distinct varieties of rice called glutinous rice, commonly known as sticky rice. Unlike regular rice, sticky rice has a shorter grain and is missing one of the 2 main molecular components of starch. This makes it easier to break down in hot water and gives the rice its namesake. Despite its name, this flour is completely gluten-free. It has a unique, sticky, chewy texture that features in confections like niengo, tongyun, mochi, and more. Growing up, my dad used to spend hours and hours helping his mom grind rice into flour for Lunar New Year. Luckily, we can buy it at our local Asian grocery store or online. Also, the reason regular Haam Gai Loong are a different color than the Toisanese version is that the wrapper combines glutinous rice flour with wheat starch and sugar, which gives them their signature golden color. For our Toisanese version, we're combining just glutinous rice flour and regular rice flour in the perfect ratio to get a crowd-pleasing, chewy yet crispy texture.
慢慢咁攪，俾手慢慢攪佢，慢慢攪佢，一邊捏一邊撳㗎啦。
We'll use our hands to mix the flour into a solid ball of dough.
隻手咁力就佢隻盤轉，咁方便啦，係嘛？嗱，而家咁嘅情況咧就未夠水啦。頭先俾咗8個安士嘅水，所以我而家咧俾多1個安士水上去，攪佢之後。
After adding hot water, we'll always use chopsticks to mix first so we don't burn our hands. We'll continue kneading until most of the flour is incorporated.
咁而家就好啦，踩上嚟靚嚿粉啦。你睇嚿粉啊嘛，但係頭先咧就搣開就硬得滯，而家咧就搣開佢咧就夠軟啦。如果太硬咧，包上嚟咪嚿粉咪硬得滯，咪難包啲咯，係嘛？有陣時咧，你覺得俾咗8安士或者多水得滯，你可以加啲少少粉上去㗎。
How do you prevent your hands from being so sticky when making this?
你首先保持隻手有啲乾粉黐咗先，你搓之前你有啲乾粉整隻手，咁搓起上嚟，你輕撈下，最收尾先至撳啫嘛。你唔可以有時唔可以避免話有啲粉黐喺度啊，黐喺度你咪拎佢出嚟咯。你搓粉嗰時有時黐隻手就無可避免嘅。撳人一邊嗱，呢度長嘅再撳佢，咁啊將啲粉撳勻勻啲佢。 即係話掉入邊啲粉，唔好佢成嚿。
In total, my dad kneads the dough for about 4 minutes until the dough is smooth, not clumpy, with barely any rice flour left in the bowl.
好啦，嚿粉就已經搓好咗喺度啦。如果做咩咧？就俾塊保鮮紙包住佢先，冚住佢，就整好晒啲料先至來包佢。
We'll cover the dough with some saran wrap to prevent it from drying out.
就等佢入邊嗰啲有啲，如果有啲乾粒啊，咁佢就會可以。 一齊咁樣溶埋晒，包住佢擺度先嗬。而家咁做咩咧？而家切嗰啲料啦。
My parents come from Toisan, an area in the southwest of Guangdong province in China. While Toisanese people consider themselves Cantonese and speak the language, they have a distinct language and culture of their own, including unique home-style dishes such as savory glutinous rice balls and today's glutinous rice dumplings, which are called
Haam Gai Loong
in Toisanese. This translates to salty chicken cage, which refers to the Toisanese practice of bringing a live chicken to family for celebrations. The shape of the rice dumpling is a callback to the shape of the cage used to carry the chicken and keeps the festive symbolism of sharing the abundance and joy with what's inside. While they are also called Toisanese Haam Gai Loong due to the similarity with the popular Cantonese dim sum dish, the filling uniquely contains jicama, a rare ingredient in Chinese cuisine, which gives the dumplings a satisfying and slightly sweet crunch.
得慳買啦，頭先俾啲熱水浸佢，而家就啱㗎啦，淋咗啦，倒咗水
We'll drain the water from the dried shrimp that's been soaking and set them aside.
喺度。嗰啲蘿蔔葉乾切碎佢，首先切一條條先。呢個係2個安士咁上下。
After cutting them into strips, we'll rotate them 90 degrees, then dice. If you want to learn how to cut twice as fast and prevent injuries, we have a free 6-minute video lesson for you. Click the link in our description or scan the QR code to access it for free. After dicing, we'll cut at different angles to make sure the pieces are nice and small.
嗱，浸咗之後咧，俾少少水浸一浸佢，因為啲蘿蔔潤咧好鹹嘅，少少水浸一浸得㗎啦，擺喺度。咁炒嘅時候你攣乾水炒得㗎啦。而家咧切臘腸，臘腸咧都係洗佢，切一粒粒，一開二切咗佢先啊，咁先至切開佢，再切幼佢，打長。
Like before, we'll cut into strips, then rotate and dice. Now we'll cut the dried shrimp into small pieces. We can use a back and forth rocking motion with a cleaver to finally cut each piece. My dad likes to go back over to chop the pieces again to make sure they're uniformly sized.
豬肉咧，3安士切細佢，切細條，首先切一條條先。
Now with the lean pork, we'll first cut into slices and lay them down, then cut into strips.
切一塊塊，然之後再煎佢一條條。
After cutting into strips, we'll rotate 90 degrees and mince. Then we'll chop at various angles to mince the pork even more finely. After mincing the pork, we can set it aside. No need to marinate.
呢個肉咧唔使醃佢就咁得㗎啦。
Can you use meats other than pork?
得，你唔想用 pork， 你咪豬肉，你咪可以唔俾得㗎。雞肉都得啫，咩肉都得㗎，你可以唔俾啲豬肉都得㗎。
Can you make this vegetarian?
又得啫。
蔬菜嘅料係咩啊？
冬菇啦，唔使佢本身就多數係蔬菜㗎啦。你求其加啲唔好咁多水分嘅嘢就得啦。你菜芥蘭一個菜果加埋啲蘿蔔潤，最好俾佢粒乾冬菇切得㗎咯，咁咪全部係齋。
Thank you. You get some today, yeah?
Thank you. 蒜頭咧，會用3粒蒜頭哦。
We'll smash and peel the cloves of garlic.
將佢切成蒜蓉啊，蒜粒粒咁。
Then we'll mince the garlic.
切少少葱，2條葱就夠啦。
With a green onion, we'll first cut them in half, then line them all up and dice.
芫茜咧，你可以俾，可以唔俾。如果你唔中意食芫茜嘅咧，就可以唔俾嗬。
We'll also roughly dice the cilantro.
半少少唔夠半個安士咁上下啦。仲有咩未切咧？呢個沙葛嗱，呢度唔知，呢度一半就夠啦。
We'll use just a quarter of a jicama, or about 4 ounces.
呢個咧沙葛咧要搣皮，搣咗皮佢。
With a small, sharp knife, we'll cut just under the skin and pull, and it should peel off. We'll trim off any remaining bits of skin, then we're ready to cut it.
又話將佢切成一粒粒，切粒嘅，嗬。首先咧切片先。
First, we'll cut it into thin slices.
再切絲。
Then lay them down and cut into strips. Then we'll rotate the strips and dice.
再切成粒，用手指咁撳住佢，嗱，撳住佢，撳住佢，嗱。
We'll chop again at different angles to get a finer dice.
好啦，咁啊全部已經切好晒啦。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlao.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home. With all of our ingredients prepared, we can bring out the wok and start the stir fry.
開火，
We'll heat the wok on high.
鑊燒熱之後咧，就開個中火就得㗎啦。
Then we'll add the oil.
通時佢油上去，埋隻鑊，就用啲蒜蓉收嚟先，唔好太猛火，太猛火一下就燒燶咗啲蒜蓉啦。炒到佢有味啦，咁咧就先啲蝦米先，蝦米咧就要爆出嚟，俾啲熱油炒出嚟，佢先係夠香嘅。
We'll stir fry the dried shrimp and garlic for about 20 to 30 seconds.
再俾啲臘腸上去，炒啲臘腸有啲油出嚟，咁佢就香啦。嗰啲蘿蔔乾點翻水佢，
We'll squeeze out the water from the dried radish and add it.
點翻水俾落去炒香佢。
After stir frying with the Chinese sausage and dried radish for another 30 seconds, we can add the pork, making sure to break up the meat so it cooks evenly.
燒肉咗落啲之後咧，開猛火先得，中火啦，開咗個中火炒佢，等啲豬肉快啲熟。
After 40 to 50 seconds, the pork should be done.
如果啲豬肉轉咗白色就熟㗎啦，最尾俾埋嗰啲沙骨上去，炒香佢啦。
Now we'll stir fry everything on medium heat.
唔好太猛火，猛火啦之後就燶咗隻鑊啦。
After another 30 seconds, we can add some seasoning.
一轉慢火啊！如果你咪開咗猛火嘅時候，你加咗嘢就燒隻鑊咪燶咗咯，係嘛？半個茶匙嘅鹽，因為嗰啲蘿蔔乾鹹嘅，啲臘腸有啲鹹味嘅，所以唔需要落咁多鹽喎。呢個係糖2個茶匙，蠔油1個湯匙，生抽半2個茶匙夠啦。嗱，呢個半得㗎。小粉俾少少撈佢，麻油咧就俾少少得㗎啦。點之後咧就俾埋呢啲葱花同埋呢啲。 咪俾齊晒之後咧，收勻佢。
Now we'll stir fry to mix everything for another minute.
呢個時候咧，開翻大火少少，抽乾水佢。點解要抽乾水咧？包隻鹹水角入邊佢唔好濕啊！佢濕咧就容易穿㗎啦。嗱，呢個冇水咯啊，得㗎，而家冇水啦，得啦。閂火。嗱，可以試下佢味道係點樣嘅。唔會鹹啊嘛。啲沙骨係咪好味啊？爽口係嘛？好啦，而家可以北起佢啦。
Now we'll scoop out all the filling onto a plate to let it cool.
炒嚟呢啲咧就開始包鹹水角啦，啊，整鬆佢，等佢快脆啲凍嗬，整開佢。
After the filling cools, we'll be ready to wrap the dumplings, and my mom will join us to help.
菠蘿材料整好晒，而家就開始包鹹水角。鹹雞卵呢嚿粉咧，頭先就俾保鮮紙包住啦，嗰個都而家就再猜佢先嗬，啊，猜佢先。然後佢發酵咗，一陣間嘛，我而家就猜翻勻佢啦，啊 ，OK。
After a quick kneading, we'll roll out the dough with our hands into a long tube. My dad does this on a large cutting board, but you can also do it on a clean counter. To make it a bit less sticky, we'll sprinkle some extra rice flour on the cutting board before continuing to roll it.
而家咧就將佢切開兩份啊，
Now we'll cut the tube in half and set one of the halves aside.
就做咗一邊先嚇，做咗呢邊先，呢邊擺喺度。而家就開始。
Now we'll roll out this half back to the whole length. My dad lets gravity do some of the work, but mostly rolls it on the cutting board.
粗細咧就冇乜一定嘅，你葱切咗我就呢度搓開佢切開做10個鹹水角呢個。
大約都係1寸咁啦。
We'll cut this tube in half, line the two parts together, and cut 4 times, resulting in 10 same-sized pieces.
而家咧搓完佢啦。
We will roll 1 piece of dough into a bowl and dip it into some sesame seeds.
點整啲芝麻？啊，喺度。
Then flatten the ball into a bowl shape with your fingers.
咁芝麻咧就芝麻香啲啊嘛，有啲芝麻喺度啦。
To make it even in thickness, my dad spins it around and repeats the same pressing motion.
咁捏成好似個碗仔咁樣，先至裝得餡上去啦嘛，係嘛？捏成呢個碗仔咁裝得餡上去。
Now we'll scoop in about a teaspoon or two of filling into the center of the bowl. Then we'll take the edges and press them together.
捏佢埋嚟，捏起佢嗱，將個邊咁鹹雞籠咯。嗱，好多人咧就唔使捏邊㗎，捏花邊㗎。但係咧，我今日咧整佢靚啲，又捏成個花邊。嗱，媽咪煎花邊好叻㗎嗱。
Let me just kind of demonstrating the how can we pinch the lace. You use your thumb so you can push in and pinch, and then push in and pinch, push in and pinch, and then keep doing for the whole like a side of the rice dumpling. It's pretty easy. Just really slightly use the corner of your thumb. So that's the whole thing. So do you think this is more pretty than without doing anything? Right?
咦，媽咪好叻啊
For the new year, we want all the dishes look pretty and delicious, to like attracting your appetite. So this is number one.
Okay.
Now we'll repeat the process for the rest of the pieces. Flatten the ball into a circular bowl shape, add the filling, and close it by pressing the edges together. If you're not pinching the lace pattern, this is done. But if you do, here's a tip from my mom.
Before you pinch the lace, you can do a little like a pinch, make the side more thin. That's easy to make the lace.
Again, here's my mom's method of pushing in with a thumb, then pinching to create the lace pattern. When we finish the first half of the dough, we'll repeat the steps earlier of rolling out the dough, cutting it in half, then cutting them into 10 pieces. So in the end, we should have 20 dumplings.
20. Yeah. 20 rice dumpling.
嗱，包好啦，而家準備嚟炸啦。而家開始就炸嗬，開火，最大火。
We'll heat our pot on high, then add the oil.
12安士咁上下啦，油唔緊要，炸完可以攞翻嚟煮嘢煮食。落幾多油咧？起碼落到浸過隻鹹水角為止。我個油溫咧就夠到攝氏160度。如果你冇呢個咧，你仲用個筷子擺落去，擺落去之後咧，佢輕微咁有啲泡上嚟，就證明佢夠啦。咁所以先咧就落啦。我一次係落6個咁上下啦，睇下啲油揾落咗之後咧，就閂慢火咯喎，閂慢火，閂慢個閂細火佢。而家閂細火佢，等佢去到咁樣炸佢3、4分鐘咧，佢會浮起嚟咧，就再反翻去佢嗱。我一次用6隻。
After all of the dumplings are in, we'll gently move them around the oil so they fry evenly.
係咁俾筷子喐佢嗬。將佢離開一個啲油仲有啲泡出嚟，你就睇到佢仲證明佢係有嗰個溫度係夠嘅。而家咧就130度、140度咁上下。嗱，好啦，而家咧浮起落，啲鹹豬角已經浮起咗㗎啦。浮起咗之後咧，就開返個中火。
After frying with the heat off for about 2.5 to 3 minutes, we'll turn the heat back on to medium.
浮起咗咁即係咩啊？
即係證明入邊隻鹹水角差唔多熟㗎啦。如果佢唔熟嘅咧，佢唔會浮起嘅。
We'll flip the dumplings to ensure both sides fry evenly.
反佢咯，等佢炸得勻勻啲。
After another 2.5 to 3 minutes of frying, the dumplings are done.
開始有啲轉黃㗎啦，就得㗎啦。
Using chopsticks and a spider strainer, we'll take out the first batch of dumplings.
再炸大次啦，大鑊啦，大啲。
We'll repeat this process with the rest of the dumplings, frying in batches of 6 to 7, depending on the size of the frying pot. To review, we'll heat the oil to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit, then add in the dumplings and turn off the heat. We'll let it fry for 2.5 to 3 minutes, then turn on the heat to medium, ensuring that the oil stays between 130 and 160 degrees Celsius. We'll fry them for another 2.5 to 3 minutes, then they're done. Traditionally, Toisanese people do not double fry these, but we wanted to see if we can get them more golden and crispy for the video, so my dad did a second fry for one of the batches.
就係有200度㗎啦，200度咧我就翻炸一鑊俾大家睇下先嚇。
As usual for a double fry, he fries it at a higher temperature for just about a minute, then takes them out and sets them aside while he moves on to another batch. But then, this happens.
食咗先飽。
So lesson learned, do it the way Toisanese people do it, and don't double fry or a dumpling might explode. With all of our Toisanese dumplings fried, we can serve them fresh and hot for our family.
朋友們，鹹水角、鹹雞籠就好咗啦！祝大家新年快樂，
新年快樂
恭喜發財！
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year 新年快樂 Is it good?
No, not 30.
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right. A huge thank you to our wok stars and all of our chefs in the CANTO Cooking Club.